Hey guys, welcome back to Tools on a Budget. Today we're just going to disassemble the new Bauer 20-volt high torque half-inch impact wrench. Just to see what kind of internals are inside. Maybe get some of the weight of the anvil and the hammer mechanism. So yeah guys, let's go ahead and start taking it apart. I believe it's like a T20, something like that. It does have quite a few screws. So basically we're just going to see what kind of switches it uses and how big the little motor is and the anvil, and see if they use like bushings. Keep in mind this is probably going to be a little bit cheaper than your typical Milwaukee, because just to get the price down a bit, but should be pretty interesting to see what's inside. Yeah, I used this the other day. I forgot when it was. Probably like 2 days ago. We did we had some axle bolts on a 2021 Edge. This thing was able to just rip them out real easy. Then we also did the suspension. We did like the control arm was broken. And then we also did the strut, and this thing had no problem ripping through all those. So this is actually a pretty decent little tool. It is kind of heavy, so beware of that. This is not going to be your only go-to, because you're going to get tired out of just having this one all day. This is where they should bring like a mid-torque, because they do have the smaller Bauer. But they need like a mid-torque in between that one and this one, so that'll cover the whole range of impacts. Once they have that mid-torque, this is gonna be like pretty much nearly professional style line. But for now we just have the small one, which is I just call them the low torques. Pretty much an impact driver, and then this one, the high torque. So if Bauer watches this, we would probably like a mid torque. I know quite a few people would as well, because they do have another high torque, but that thing is anemic. The smaller one outperforms it. In fact, I'll probably do a video of the small one versus the old high torque. I'm pretty sure the little one will beat it. So I think that's it. There it is. I just have these 4 for the anvil, the housing. They are using the older style 1 LED instead of a lot of companies are going to the tri-beam. I understand it's kind of hard for this because it's they want it to hit hard, so so the only way they probably do it is put it over like a ring. Like I think the Milwaukee does it that way for their mid torque. Their high torque still looks like this though. So maybe the next gen one will have the tri-beam style. I do prefer the tri-beam. These things are pretty in there. Just 3 more bolts. I should have paused this while I took off all the bolts, but yeah, it's too late now. In fact, I might pause it just to get these last 2 bolts off. I'll be back. All right, so there, guys, I was able to get all the screws out. So I'm pretty sure it just opens up and splits down the middle. Yeah, pretty easy. As you guys can see, let's see if I can focus. It is PA6 GF30, which is a 30% glass fiber reinforced. That just means they're a little bit more durable than just ABS plastic. So if you drop it, it will take a few drops for it to start actually break or snap completely. The overmolding is anchored pretty well in here. A bunch in here, a couple here, 4 or 5 here. It's all over the place, so This housing is actually built pretty decent. But I've never actually had an issue with the Harbor Freight overmolding, so I don't think that should be a problem for you guys. I know some brands they'll start peeling off. Maybe it'll happen on this too, but I've never actually had an issue with it, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. So here's what the actual impact looks like. I do believe this looks almost identical to the Hercules. I'm gonna try to find a picture, and I'll compare both of them, and I'll put a picture of it somewhere around here right now. But yeah, it's actually it's a pretty beefy little mortar. It's very, very reminiscent of the Milwaukee as well. They even use the same color mortar armature for like the plastic and everything. The hammer mechanism looks pretty beefy. Let's go ahead and take it out so you guys can see more. Okay, let's look at the switch. Let me get a light. So it is a Jalevo switch. I never heard of it. 25 amps. It says 42 volts DC. So it's probably a decent type switch. Not too bad. Not the best either, probably. I do like how the wires are covered with, I forgot what these are called, with the heat shrink, sorry. The actual, I'll get that right now. The actual circuit board is epoxied, so if you do get water, it shouldn't really affect it too much. It does have an exposed capacitor here. This looks like just their generic circuit board they use like in every single one of their brushless tools, like this one and then the Hercules. I'm pretty sure they get a good deal on these. That's why they have them on everything. I do like that the mortar is epoxied here. Also, there's a good amount of grease on the bearing. I do believe they use this bearing to keep the actual motor balance while it's spinning at high RPM. So let's go ahead and look at this. So this is a sealed, I believe it's sealed. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to, oh actually no, it's not sealed. So there you go. So that is a meaty hammer right there. Well greased. It does have a nylon bushing down there. Is it nylon? It looks like it's nylon and metal. Let me check. Let me pull it out. It is pressed in, but that does look like it's nylon over metal. Or no, it's actually just nylon. So that is a nylon bushing in there. Pretty nice. Here's the hammer. The anvil, sorry. And here's the hammer. So it does have a ball bearing in there. That's probably the one that goes into the anvil. Overall, it's really well greased. Let me go get my oh, it is a planetary gear set. Fairly common. Not like the, I don't know if you guys heard about the Milwaukee's, the High Torques. They went to some sort of a pin style detent where the pins would go in, and they were snapping like crazily, like right out. I think Toolhead, I think it's Toolhead 147 bought one, and as soon as he got outside, he tried it on his car and it instantly broke. So that design was actually subpar. And then Milwaukee, they went back to this style design. This is a pretty good design. They hadn't had issues until they tried to re-engineer it. Probably save a couple pennies. Understandable, but not if it's gonna bring the quality down that much. And that issue actually got blown up pretty quick. I think a Torque Test channel, I also found out about that, and they got a pretty good amount of attention on it. But yeah, let me get my scale and see how much this thing weighs, and we'll compare it to like other ones on the internet, like the Milwaukee and then the Hercules. All right, so I found my scale. Let me see. The hammer mechanism on this weighs 911 grams. That's pretty beefy. And the anvil weighs 146, give or take a few grams, because it does have grease on it. Overall, I do think this is built pretty well. It's built probably just as well as their Earthquake, which, if you guys ever saw Ave take that apart, it was actually pretty, he liked how it was built. And this is built pretty similar, so I don't see this having any issues. I mean, you're gonna get a bad apple here or there, but overall, I think this is a great tool. If you're on the fence of buying it, I wouldn't be. This is it's well built. It's built. It looks similar to the way the Milwaukees are built, so I wouldn't really be too worried about it. The only thing that might go out would be probably it probably just has subpar bearings. Really easy. Just buy another one, put it in. Probably the same size. Let me see what size it is. They're usually pretty universal. So it's a, see if you guys can see there. Let me get my light. It looks like a 638. Actually, no, it's 698. It's a fairly common bearing. You guys will probably be able to find it somewhere. So that'd probably be the only downfall. It just has like some cheap Chinese bearings. You probably get some nice good ones for $5-6 each, if down the road, if it does break. And it's out of warranty, because I'm pretty sure Harbor Freight will replace it within the 90 days. And like I said, if you guys could get this with the coupon, you really can't beat it. It's a great deal. I do like the build quality. I'm gonna keep using this because honestly, it's pretty decent, and I've already, as you can see, I already dropped it. Let me see. Yeah, I think it's right here. See, I dropped it a few times already, so it doesn't really hurt it when I dropped it. You know, it's not a big deal. Especially when I got it for, like, I think it was $116 before tax. I'll check and I'll insert it here, or I'll put it down in the description how much I paid. It was with like a 10% off coupon. Keep in mind, you can get a 25% off, no exclusions, which would put this probably like $100 before tax, so like 107, let's say, with tax. At that price, I don't think you're gonna be able to beat it. Even the Ryobi is more expensive than that. The Ryobi is actually pretty decent as well, but this is probably, for bang for the buck, I don't think you're gonna be able to beat this one. So there you guys go. That's just how it's built. Actually, let me put this back together real quick. And we're back. Alright guys, so that took me a little bit longer than I'd care to admit. But it's back. So there you guys go. As you saw, the internals are actually pretty decent on this thing. It looks like Harbor Freight is really actually trying to step up their game. And by claiming only the 1000, it's actually, I think it's actually probably their closest, the most accurate one yet. Even though it's probably only like nut busting. So this is probably like a 650, 700 foot-pound gun easy. Maybe 560. Maybe if you let it go for a long time, it'll hit the 600-700 mark. Overall, I think it's a great tool. I wouldn't mind recommending this to anybody. I don't think you can go wrong buying this one, especially if you're already in the Bauer line. I think this will be a great addition to your arsenal of tools and it being brushless. And let's not kid anybody, I think it looks pretty nice. It's actually pretty decent looking. It doesn't look cheap at all. It doesn't feel cheap either. Feels good, heavy, sturdy. I don't think you're gonna have any issues. So there you guys go. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you don't, be sure to leave a comment or leave thumbs down, whatever you want. But if you did, remember, leave a thumbs up or subscribe, and have a great day, guys. Thank you.